minutes earlier. Looking good. Confident they can get the job done in front of their home crowd. And the game arrival, sponsored by Express. Dress like a pro. A lot going on here in the Queen City. There's Tryon Street in uptown Charlotte, home of the Hornets. Greetings and best wishes for a happy holiday season from all of us at 2K Sports as we get set for this NBA presentation. Alongside Chris Webber and Greg Anthony, I'm Kevin Harlan, the fourth member of our crew. From the sideline, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. So here's Miami's starting group. We've got Goose. Insanity is out there with the monster. And it's Cool Hands. And it's Edwards in at the 2. In the new season, Chris, every team wants that fast start, but when you really think about it, how important is that in the grand scheme of things?
Well, it depends on where you are. Like, let's think about Houston last year with the injuries. You don't want to get to a slow start where you're fighting for home court advantage. So it's very important. And usually veteran teams know that first 2-3 weeks of the season is when you can sneak teams. And if you're a younger team and you understand that, wait a minute, it's all about attention to detail, focus, and playing hard, you can get some pretty nice upsets early because when for young teams, once the scouting report comes out and teams hone in on you, it might be a little bit more of a difficult season as the days go ahead. Yeah, watch out.
And the first one at the line is good. Chris, tonight, two offenses that love to slow it down and then set it up. What was your favorite half-court play, for instance?
Oh, wow. Well, for me, it's a play called turn 4 or 5. And depending on if I was the 4 or the 5, that means that you have a guard come out, he spins out, he comes out on the wing, and he throws it into you. And then it's your job to go to work or to find a double team. So it's almost like being that point forward off the box. So any play that was called for myself in the half court, you know, was my favorite play.
Right. I can see the play in my mind right now as you're describing it. Insanity, the pass to Cycli. Over Reed. The shot's good from Cycli.
Oh, the timing couldn't have been better on that assist.
Passes it to Tripucka. That shot off the mark. It's Douglas with the ball for the Heat. Here's Edwards. That's in, coming off a nice assist from Douglas.
And once he got to the 10, I think he was surprised to find himself that wide open.
Yeah, very little resistance. I mean, you have to bring much faster help than that.
My goodness, he is such a great dunker.
Greg, a high riser, no doubt about it.
Well, the big question heading into the offseason for the Hornets was if they keep Kemba Walker.
Yeah, you're right, GA, and it seemed unlikely for Kemba to stay, and that was the case. Losing a leader like him hurts, but now this team can rebuild from the ground up.
Here's Bose. The Heat getting the bucket. Pass to Tripucka. Clock at 6. Pass to Reed. Corner shot. That shot misses. And the Heat going the other way now. Douglas surveying the D. Now the pass to Rice. Here's Cycli. Over Reed. Cycli, no good. Hornets have gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Tripucka passes to Anderson. It's good.
Oh, no hesitation to get it to the rim. He uses his height advantage to convert easy.
Now Edwards. Over in the corner, Douglas. Connects from three-point range.
And he's not going to miss that sort of an opportunity from deep.
About 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter. Douglas against Bose. takes one. It's hauled in by the Heat. Miami leading by 5. Douglas, the pass to Cycli. Over Reed. The shot's good from Cycli.
And their offense already in a flow. Some stellar shooting to jump out to this lead.
There's the feed to Anderson. A baseline J. That's his second shot and his second basket. He's 2 for 2.
Poor design there defensively. They know he's a knockdown shooter from that spot.
Oh, yeah, that's one of his go-to spots. I mean, you have to pressure him in that mid-range area.
Here's Cycli. He's got 6. That one drops for him.
Oh, this first quarter couldn't be going much better for him. 4 for 5 from the field to get things cracking.
Here's Chapman inside. Here's Edwards, and Edwards with the stuff.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
Yeah, going defense to offense in an instant. Every team now calibrated to do that.
And so here's Charlotte after the Heat pick up 2.
You can learn a lot by watching him operate in their offense.
And so it's Douglas who will bring it up for the Heat. 7-point differential. Lets it go from 11. Reed with the rebound. Hornets trail by 7. And here's Anderson from the arc. Bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
Another in the long line of big men who can drain the 3. That makes him a very tough cover.
Douglas against Bogues. The shot's good from Douglas. Douglas has got 5 now.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Here's Chapman. Edwards defending. Passes to Reed. And it's Miami with the rebound. Here's Rice. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Set it up with the fake, but it's offline. Pass to Tripucka. Feeds it to Anderson. It's stolen by Edwards. Douglas kicks to Edwards. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
On the night, he's gone 2 for 2 at the stripe. He throw good, Edwards. Both good from the line that time. Hornets trail by 8. Douglas against Bogues. There's always at least one joker on every roster. Who was the funniest guy, Chris, you ever played alongside?
Oh, man, by far is Jay Will. Jay Will, White Chocolate. He was the funniest before the game, after the game, during the game. He would, you know, it'd be a bad call by a ref or something. He'd say something to the ref would laugh and pat him on the butt. I mean, he was, he's a funny guy. He's somewhere right now telling jokes, having somebody laugh and fall out on the floor. It was just his personality. A hard worker, but he definitely was the joker on the court.
Miami leading by 8. Here's Edwards. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him. Players have different ways of leading. Some guys, Chris, are loud and fiery. Others let their play do all the talking. What was your approach?
Well, Kevin, it depended on what situation I was in. When I was in Sacramento, I could be the quiet, fiery guy. Led through my actions because Vlade was more of a vocal guy, and we had a really good spirited team, so I didn't need to do much. much besides what we did in practice. In my younger days, when you want to win, you want to get out there, and maybe everyone doesn't have the sense of urgency that you do. You're a little bit more vocal, but I've always believed that the best leaders, no matter how well they communicate or anything else, the best leaders lead by example. And if you're telling everyone what to do and you're not doing it, usually it falls on deaf ears. So go out there and do it by example first, and everybody will follow.
Good advice. Here's Gray. Here's Cool Hands, defended by Douglas. And there's the foul. It goes on Cool Hands. That's his first foul. There are a lot of people that say, Chris, the European players are more fundamentally sound overall. Are they right?
Well, I think when you look at a guy like Doncic or Dirk or Porzingis,
yes.
You're taking the best of the best and you're creating the whole field. So I can't say overall. I would say they've had some players that have come in and wowed us, and that's awesome. But also you have those guys going pro at the age of 13, 14, 15 years old, and so I think they may miss out on some of the other things that life has to offer, like a normal high school experience, those type of things. But I tell you what, it's a copycat league, and it's a copycat game, and so once you see players that are 7 foot coming over, shooting, passing, dribbling, I think you could say guys like Kevin Durant and others, I think you can say they're pretty sound overall. So I don't buy into that theory, but I do think for a lot of Europeans, being a professional early helps you transition into the NBA a little bit better maybe than guys coming out of college off of 1 year.
I would agree. Here's lights out. It's blocked. Outside Curry. Pass to Cool Hands. The teardrop falls in. And now just a 4-point Heat lead.
Yeah, first year for Coach Borrego as a head coach, but he had a solid start. He's from the Popovich coaching tree. He was given the reins of the Hornets, and he was tasked with improving their offense.
Here's Long. Little turnaround. That one off the back iron and out. Hornets trail by 4. There's the pass to Rambis. Uncovered. He can't hit that time. And it's Miami the other way. And with Borrego as coach, offense certainly was more fluid.
Yeah, Borrego, he stresses ball movement. He encourages his players to look for early offense, more spacing in his system that benefits the whole roster.
For Miami, they have been on target from the free throw line. They're 5 of 5 in that department. The first free throw is good. And good on the second, so he makes them both.
Yeah, and early on doing a really nice job at the free throw line.
Here's Cool Hands. Pass to Curry. Here's Dozier. Clock at 4. Here's Gray. And it's Miami with the rebound. Here's lights out. Now on the scoring column with that bucket. 1 for 2 this game.
I'll tell you what, I'm not sure these guys can keep this up.
Yeah, so far both teams have been outstanding at the offensive end, but we got a lot of game left to play.
Now here's Curry. He's been patient so far. Nothing on the scoreboard yet.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Here's lights out. Pass to Edwards. Down low. Pass to Rice. The Heat need to get a shot off. Here's lights out. His three-pointers off the mark.
And you could tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
And the foul on the monster. That is his first foul of the game. .157 left to play in the first quarter. Here's Cool Hands. Just 5 on the clock. Puts one up.
And they've done a nice job controlling the defensive backboard to start this game.
Edwards against Curry. So the wing on the left. Launches a three. There we go. Now in the scoring column with that make. He is 1 for 4.
I like their focus coming in. Terrific execution so far.
Going for the juggler right off the bat. I mean, jumping out to an impressive early lead.
Here's Gray. Another miss, and they've really hit a rough patch here. The Heat leading by 11. Rice passes to Lights Out. There's 53 seconds left to play in the first quarter. This is his first trip to the line tonight. First one falls for him.
And they've clearly been the aggressors here early on, drawing fouls and working themselves to the line.
Good on both. 52 seconds left to play here in the first. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
Left side Curry to stop the drought. It's hauled in by Edwards.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. We've got 22 seconds left to play in the first. It's stolen by Davis. Here's Lights Out. And there's the pass to Edwards. To the paint. It's picked off. That one doesn't drop. And a double-digit lead on the scoreboard as we end the first quarter of play. It's the Heat as they end the first quarter with a massive 16-7 run. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. And welcome back to the second